Yo, what up? What up? What up, friends?
I mean, it's time for LeBron to get ready for the farewell tour, man. Stop pretending like he really trying to win another ring. And but I will say this as well. Him and Rich Paul is doing good business because when they sit down and talk to Jenny Buss and whoever else is making decisions over there, they're not saying you pay me this much money because I can bring your ring. They're saying pay me this much money because this is how many tickets I'm selling. Right. So I'm not the best player in the league. I'm not the player that's gonna lead the team to a ring, but I am box office. And even the drama around me brings conversation and ratings. Right. And that's the same thing that's going on in the WNBA with Caitlin Clark. I'm not the best player. I'm not dominating the league yet, but I am your face because the fans are saying I'm your face. And at some point, she might be able to leverage herself for the whole WNBA, not just her team. Like LeBron can do it for the Lakers. Caitlin might be able to do it for the WNBA and be like, hey, I want 10% of everything. You get what I'm saying? That's how much they're propping her up. Mm-hmm. And if she live up to any of that hype, which she probably won't, but if she does, oh man, she got the possibility to be in their pockets.
She do.
And so let's talk about that because that's a great segue because that is what we were going to talk about next is Caitlin Clark. So obviously, she's the talk of everything that has been happening in terms of the different controversies going around since she's entered women's basketball. Whether or not you're starting with the rivalry that she has with Angel Reese, shout out my girl. Went to the University of Maryland, so love me some Angel Reese. But the attention that she has gotten over all of the other women and women that have come into the league previously. I personally don't even think she's the best player on her team. I think Aaliyah Boston is, but she got an infinitesimal amount of hype than Clark did. You go back to Asia Wilson, who recently had comments about how maybe the black girls and African-American women, black girls are not as marketable. And that's why. And she didn't get her shoe deal until after Caitlin Clark got her shoe deal. So there's obviously some possible, validation to that. And so that's really what we want to talk about is you mentioned the fact of whether she's going to be good or not. That's really outside the purview of what we're going to talk about today. She obviously has the skills to be good if she really wants to. But what we really want to dig into is why is she experiencing the intro to WNBA that she is? How is the WNBA being affected by the Caitlin Clark effect? How much of that is due to gender, race, also sexual orientation, and so many other questions that come along with the Caitlin Clark narrative that has been brought in. Now, what I must point out before we keep moving on is that, and again, it's not just Caitlin Clark. There's plenty of rookies. Shout out Cameron Brink, who unfortunately tore her ACL. News came out today, so hopefully she'll be well. Be okay. But so she's not the only one, but Caitlin Clark is a big reason, and the WNBA's metrics have been going up across the board. They have their most digital subscribers. They had their most viewed game in 23 years when Reese played Clark. Their rivalry is sprouting. They're tripling their numbers that they've done on ESPN, CBS in previous years. A ticket sales increase every month. So we are seeing the progression of women's basketball and the popularity. And yes, I don't believe it's all due to one person. But you cannot put aside the fact that a lot of it is in part due to her. And whether that might be because of her qualities, so we say, versus other qualities in the league. Mel, how do you feel about that?
Oh man, that's a mouthful, and it's a whole bunch of ways you can go with that conversation. Yeah. So no, it's not. You summed it up pretty good. And gave us a lot to chew on. So this will probably take some time and some back and forth for us to be able to get all of it. So I start here. At the beginning, you said something about her being good or getting good. I just want to say, just to start off, she's already good, right? So we're not waiting for her to get good. She's already good. We're waiting for her to get great, right? So that's yet to be seen if she's going to be great. She's already good. She came into the league already good, right? She was great at college. As a pro, she's good. All right, we're waiting for great, right? So that's first and foremost. But other than that, let's tackle the part on the attention that she's bringing and if it has anything to do with anything other than basketball. The answer is yes, right? Because in order for you to
say it's not.
Yeah, we got to address the elephant in the room. Mm-hmm. In order for you to get the attention of millions of people who not only don't like basketball, but even if they did like basketball, they wouldn't be liking WNBA basketball. They wouldn't be liking women's basketball. So what do you have to do to grab the attention of people who don't even like the sports? Right? Because that's mostly her fan. Most of her friends don't even like the sport. Right. So, and what demographic do they come from? Most of them are middle America, white America. Right. Mm-hmm. Let's keep that a buck. So why did white America cling on to her? Is it because of the threes? Well, that's what they say, but you don't even know what them threes mean because you don't even like the sport. So what it really was we seen a white girl playing in college basketball, busting black girls' asses that played for these stacked teams like UConn, LSU, South Carolina. Oh man, we got one of our own. We got one. We got our Tiger Woods. We got one. Yep. That's right. Whooping ass, right? So now you get people that was like, oh man, I'm interested in this girl because now I get to poke and say we got one that's busting y'all ass, right? You get what I'm saying? Because if it was just about the fact that she brought ratings and all of that stuff, we wouldn't have had those same people talking down on Coach Prime last year when he was bringing ratings. They had so much to say about Coach Prime when he brought ratings. So we know it's not about the ratings that she's bringing because y'all didn't want Coach Prime to get nothing. Y'all didn't want him to get a primetime game. Y'all didn't understand why y'all didn't even understand why he was even on TV. Why is he getting all this? The coaches was jealous. And what was the people on ESPN saying? The coaches are not jealous. We're just tired of you walking around here wearing them shades at press conferences. That was on the side. That was on the side of the coaches that was against Prime. That was on his side, right? So now there is a different. It looks different. You're singing a different tune, right? So let me go ahead. Let me finish walking down this road, right? So we know it's not just basketball. We know what the real is. Y'all got a great white hope that's whooping ass, and she's very good. So let's get behind her. Then it gets real political when a black girl beats her in the national championship and ends the Cinderella story that y'all was looking for. Not only did she beat her, because remember she beat South Carolina, who was undefeated, and the narrative about the South Carolina girls is that they were bullies and they're thugs, all because they was bigger, faster, and stronger. So how did they? Right. So how did they call that South Carolina game? They let the girls from Iowa maul South Carolina bigger girls to make the game even, right? They evened the playing field by calling the game in a way where you can just jump on the South Carolina girls' back and say, South Carolina, if you're going to win, you're going to have to win with the tail slated toward your opponent. And South Carolina couldn't pull it off, right? So they just knew Caitlin Clark was going to finish this Cinderella story, and LSU and Angel Reese stepped in the front and said, not so fast. But not only did they beat her, because they would have been mad even if they beat her, right? Right. But not only did they beat her, she taunted her with her own taunt. And immediately you seen people run to Twitter and call Angel Reese every name in the book, and that's when the media war started against Angel Reese. And this when this became political, and this became a racial divide. So now everyone coming in, CNN, Megyn Kelly, and these, I'm like, man, y'all ain't never even read or watched basketball. And when they reported on it, I'm gonna tell you how bad they were at the sport. When they reported on it, they was having to read off the paper. They didn't even know what they was talking about. You get what I'm saying? So it became political when people that wasn't even close to the sport start reporting on it. because now we got a black girl that done taunted the white girl that was supposed to be our champion, and we're not gonna stand for that. We're gonna call her every name in the book, and she had one of the worst summers in the media because they was doing the most on Angel Reese. So that summer before the season even started, you can ask my guys in the Man Down group chat. I text them and said, next year when the season start, two things is going to happen. One, Caitlin Clark's going to be very motivated. She's going to practice her butt off all because she's a competitor and she's a great player and she's determined. But also she's going to be fighting downhill. LSU's going to be fighting uphill the whole season, right? Because they're going to make it that way. They're going to get their Cinderella story either way. And then what happened? It happened in the reverse. They beat LSU and then went and South Carolina spanked that butt, right? And when they spanked it good, and they made Caitlin Clark look very average in that championship game, right? So that's what this is all about. So the fans that fell in love with her in college, we've seen great college players in NBA or in men's sports and women's sports be very great. We've seen JJ Redick be very great. He scored more points in the ACC than Michael Jordan did. We've seen Tyler Harrisburg be very great. We've seen Adam Morrison be very great. And we've seen Jimmer Fredette be very great. Right. And I'm talking about Jimmer Fredette and Adam Morrison was playing just like Caitlin Clark, shooting threes from all over the place. But what do we know about men's sports? Yeah, you can be that player that's on, like you can be a senior in college and own the college sports, because most of the great players in the NBA leave their freshman, sophomore year. So if you happen to stay 4 years, like Hansborough did, and Aaron Morrison did, and Jimmy Fredette did, and JJ Redick did, yeah, you can look really good. But we know as soon as you get in that league with them grown men that's bigger, faster, and stronger than you, you're going to come down a notch. And that's what people knew about Caitlin Clark, especially after watching how South Carolina defended her with bigger, faster, stronger females that can take her out of her game by themselves, not with help, not with double teams. Raven Johnson defended her by herself and took her out by just guarding her right and not giving her that opportunity to step back to the left and shoot that three. Made her look very pedestrian. So people knew this GOAT talk that they're talking about, when she gets in the league, is going to look different. And what happened? She got to the league, proved us right, proved the media wrong. And now the same people that jumped on the bandwagon just for a great white hype is watching these girls defend her like this, and now they're blaming the girls. You're jealous, you're racist, you're all these things. They even said her teammates was jealous of her. They said the NBA itself was WNBA itself was jealous and didn't want her to succeed. Every time she doesn't succeed, it's never that she's inadequate in any way. It's because you're playing defense on her only because you want to stop her because you're jealous, right? That's the basis of all of this. It's very racial, it's very political, and everyone is using Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark to take their political sides. If you hear them talk, they say this is black girls and lesbians against a straight white girl, and they're jealous, right? So that's all this is.
No, I was just gonna say that's the thing, right? The elephant in the room is that she is the straight white girl from Iowa versus a league that is full of, obviously,
it's so many straight white girls in the league. It's so many straight white girls in the league is ridiculous. Cameron, you think Cameron Brink is not straight? You think she
her boyfriend?
You get what I'm saying? It's people that's married to men in the WNBA. Don't let the media tell you it's some lesbian black girls that's mad at her. It's a lot of straight white girls and straight black girls in the league. Skylar Diggins, straight, married, with kids. Yeah, I'm not buying it at all. I'm not buying it at all. No one is looking at her and saying, "Oh, you're straight. I'm jealous of you. I'm going to play defense." That don't even make sense. Like, they want us to really believe that.
No, but if you're juxtaposing where she stands and where some of the other girls stand, I'm talking about more from just like a marketability, promotional standpoint. Like if you're looking at where she is and you juxtapose that with Brittany Griner, right? Then you see where that political divide is. Then you see where that racism starts to seep out. Then I wouldn't even
bring it up. I mean, that's like saying Michael Sam didn't make the Cowboys because he was gay.
But he didn't stay in the league for a while. And could that be because he wasn't gay?
No,
he wasn't that good.
He wasn't that good.
Michael Sam
Nassib played for the Raiders, came out and then 2 years later, who was out the league, but he was good enough to start for us before he was.
That's fine. That's fine. But with Michael Sam, even when he played for Canada and he was doing a show with Oprah, they were saying he's a prima donna and cared more about the reality show than football. Carl Nassib came out. Yes, he came out as being gay, and he still had 2 more years after that, but he wasn't good enough to stay in the league. And kind of like what Mel was saying, I will say this. I agree with you. You got to understand us as people, we're tribal. It's tribalism. You know what I'm saying? You like to go with what your tribe is at times. And, it's like everybody, when it's St. Patty's Day, you see people out the woodwork putting, my cousin's third cousin is Irish. So when they see somebody doing something in a sport that they don't see a lot of their own doing, they want to jump to that. And I totally get it. And I understand it, but the fan base you're building is not really the fan base you want, because what if she gets hurt, tears her ACL? Are they still going to watch the sport? There's a lot of women that complain about equal pay, in which they should get good pay, but you got to understand, put butts in the seat and then you'll get pay. It's you're not just gonna get equality just out of nowhere. You got to be like Ronda Rousey said it best. I put asses in the seats. That's why I make millions. So the people needed support instead of always hating, instead of going towards, the NBA. Oh, they should get more money. Do you watch a game? I mean, I don't watch, but well, you know what? Shut the hell up, okay? Unless you watch, be quiet, okay? Just and Caitlin Clark, be honest with you, they should not make her a point guard. They should have her a shooting guard. The same thing she was in college, because she's gonna probably set the record as most turnovers in the WNBA her rookie year. So I think they should put her back to shooting guard, where she was and naturally is, because she's not a point guard in the WNBA. I'm just saying that. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, and that's a good point, man. But she passes very well, so it just depends on how you want
to. As a rookie, I mean,
she's not leading.
League. Sorry,
she's not leading.
Sorry, not leading the league. She's leading the rookies in assists. My bad.
Well, she's gonna set the record for turnovers also. So
yeah, she definitely leading in turnovers.
Give or take. What do you want?
Yeah, she definitely leading turnovers. And she's most games getting more turnovers than assists. So it's almost like it's canceling each other out. But back to the you said
TK. I'd sent for her.
You said supporting. You said they should support more.
No, I'm saying that it's tribalism. That's why people are supporting her like that. The Middle America folks. And
the most insulting thing is we see it. Mm-hmm. And we know what it is, and they can continue to try to tell us that's not what it is. Like I was talking to a guy on my channel in my comment section about the Olympic part, and he was saying that she should be on a team for popularity. And I was like, well, how far does that slope slide? That's a slippery slope, because if the most popular girl should be on the team for the sake of growing the sport, just for her popularity, then what about the second most popular girl? Should she be on the team too? Because what's more than one, two? So if I can grow the sport with one person, guess how far I can grow with 2 people that's popular, especially if they're popular with 2 different separate demographics. So if you're saying let's put Caitlin in just for popularity, would you put Angel Reese in just for popularity? It don't make sense. Like when you're not blinded by your own biases, and you give them the when you juxtapose it with something that they're not biased for, then they can see clear. Right. Yeah. So you're telling me Caitlin should get there just for popularity, not earning it as far as basketball attributes, but just popularity. All right, and you're saying because you want to grow the sport. All right, good. Well, let's grow it even more. Let's add Angel as well. Well, no. Let's not go to the no. Okay, now you get it.
Well, now you get it. Shaq got snubbed for Christian Laettner. People remember that. 90 was it 92? The Dream Team. Correct. So Shaq could have been on that squad, but they said they had too many centers to put in Christian Laettner. So, and everybody wanted Shaq to be on there.
It didn't make basketball sense though.
It
really didn't. It really didn't make it basketball sense. It was just no need for him on that squad with David Robinson and Pat Ewing. Just no need.
And that's a really great point though, because let's think back to that, because I mean we all remember that team, obviously led by Jordan, Magic, and Bird.
Barkley. Bird didn't do anything.
Right? No. I mean they had the whole team. I mean, the whole team down to 11th man John Stockton was great. But Christian Laettner was the 12th man. He just came out of college from Duke. Aside from some pictures, he never got much run. He didn't get in, he wasn't seen very much other than just in like practice and stuff like that. So with her marketability above these other girls, would that even matter, putting her into the Olympic team when all she's going to do is sit on the end of the bench anyways for the whole entire time? Yes, you're going to bring those fans in, her fans, that middle white America that we talked about. But how many of those are watching Olympic basketball? Probably not very many. I mean, if you can even find it on TV.
I'm on the contrary with this. Yeah. I actually would have put her on the team because this is a turning point for WNBA. They have nobody on in their atmosphere that's getting the attention she's getting. Okay, this is generational attention that they're getting, and I would have put her on the squad. But that's it. For me, I look at it as a way to showcase everybody else. Yes, people are going to tune in because I remember the Redeem team. I was going to the homie Peach's house watching the Redeem team at 2 a.m. when they were playing in China. You can have her on the team, but you can showcase Asia and all these other women, and that way, like a passive fan can say, "Oh wow, that girl can do. That girl can do. Oh wow, Caitlin finally gets in the game." So that way, can maybe a small section can kind of start watching WNBA besides Caitlin Clark and watch these other players that are pretty good as well. So. That's for my.
She don't have those type of fans though. She don't have those type of fans though. She don't have the type because those same fans that are coming to the WNBA because of Caitlin, when they see Caitlin on the court and they see Caitlin get whooped by these girls is better than her, are they then saying, "Oh, I didn't know it was girls that was this good. I'm gonna go start following that girl as well"? No, they're not doing it. They're saying, "Why are you guarding? Why are you defending her like a professional basketball player? Why are you doing that? Let her spin. If you want to get money, let her shoot her shots. Don't foul her. Don't do this. Don't." I mean, all it is saying, I want to see Caitlin do what she did in Iowa because I want to see. I don't know whatever their motivation is, but they're not coming to the game and finding out new talent and following it up because they don't like basketball.
They have no choice. This is their only way of getting eyes, even though I totally get what you're saying. I'm with you on that. But to get the small pocket of folks that might not be part of them to say, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to watch it anyways because Caitlin Clark went to my school," or, she shoots threes. I can't wait to see her get in the game. And you see somebody like Plum or Wilson, like, "Oh, snap, they're going to actually play. Let me follow her a little bit." That's it could be out of 10 people, it might be one. Okay. They're not
doing it. They're not doing it, man. I just watched the Phoenix game the other night. It was 4 girls on Phoenix team that shoot better than Caitlin. 4.
Oh, and Connecticut might win it all. I'm not going.
No, not Connecticut.
Phoenix Mercury. No, I'm saying I'm not going with Connecticut to win the whole thing.
Oh yeah, they might. Yeah. Either them or the Liberty. But with Brittany Griner coming back, she got Phoenix looking real good. I mean, she's a mismatch for everyone, even Asia Wilson. Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner, man. Hey, that's a 6'7", 6'8" girl out there, man. Ain't nobody got nothing for.
I'm not gonna say it.
But look, so look, I got 2 things on because something that you said, Omar, and my kids, my daughter's got a book called "If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, They're Gonna Want Milk," right? They're gonna ask for milk. So if you give Caitlin Clark a spot, and I'm talking about give because she didn't earn it. If you give her a spot, her fans is going to want her to also get in the game very often. Right. And if you get in the game very often, they're going to eventually want her to start. Right. If you give them a cookie, they're going to ask for milk. They're not going to accept you just putting her on the squad because now what they're doing is using shaming tactics and guilt tactics and race baiting and name calling and peer pressure and pressure in the media to force you to do what they want to see, which is Caitlin Clark to do what she did in Iowa in college, right? So if you put it on the squad, the next step is now let's see if we can push the envelope even more. Let's see if we can push her to the starting lineup. And if you don't do that, they're going to say the same things. You're holding back her. You're stopping the money flow. We're going to leave if you don't do this. Like they're threatening to leave the WNBA if they don't see Caitlin Clark start to spin.
Right.
If they don't change the rules so she can spin. If they don't change the rules so she can become unstoppable. They're not going to rest until she becomes unstoppable. And they don't want her to work hard at it to be unstoppable. They want you to legislate her into the GOAT conversation. You
Right.
don't negotiate with terrorists. All
That's
money
true.
ain't good money, and Team USA and the WNBA is pushing back and saying we don't want this. We seen the NBA go down an impure path, and now we're looking at an impure game that's influenced by gambling, influenced by all types of other stuff. Games are being
All that
rigged,
stuff.
series are
Media
being
rights.
rigged. They're manufacturing superstars, and the WNBA is saying we don't want that. We want pureness in our game. And if the women is saying this, we want a pure game, then we should accept that instead of saying no. You should do it like the WNBA and be very impure and fake and all of this crap. They don't want to be like that, and that's why I like watching them. That's why they still physical now. How are the women more physical than the men?
They ain't got no choice.
And
They
so
can't evolve to that point yet.
as solutions oriented, I like your idea of putting both Reese and Clark on the team. That way you don't expect anybody to start or get a certain amount of playing time, but you still get that rivalry in there, maybe even get them like a Magic Bird type friendship going on. And so you would either do one or the other. Right. I'm not saying you would. I'm just saying you would either do one or the other. You're not going to just put in Clark, though, per se, for marketing dollars, because then, I mean, although obviously as a marketer, she's going to bring a lot of eyes. But as you said, expectations will then start to creep up.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. But I'm not for putting anybody on the squad just for popularity. If it don't make basketball sense, then I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. We got time. Them girls will be ready for the next Olympics, and they'll probably be leaders on the squad. But nah, man, like, I mean, it's just dumb to suggest and to agree with everyone saying that, yeah, she don't deserve to be on the team. However, she's popular, so put her on the squad. Like, where else did we do that? Like, if we just go to the men's side, who just based on popularity got on the squad when it didn't make basketball sense on top of that? Like, you know, just because Mike was popular and the most popular doesn't mean that's the only reason why he was on the squad. He was also the best on the squad. Can we get both? Can we get the best player and the most popular player? You get what I'm saying? Because if it's just about popularity, like I said, Angel Reese is popular as well. Then you would have to agree that she should be on the squad as well. So that's my thing.
And that's the other thing is, like I mentioned earlier, I think Aaliyah Boston is the better player on her own team, and she didn't make the Olympic roster.
Correct.
Holla. $5,000.